What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. Connor Kurpat, your guy here from Halftime on the Hudson. We're super excited because this is our very first live show, not just for Halftime on the Hudson, but I'm pretty sure this is the first live show we've ever had on MCTV using StreamYard. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this works out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, though. So all of you, thank you so much for tuning in to the Halftime on the Hudson mock draft. Let's go see who's joining us on this draft today. What's going on, guys? Introduce yourselves.
What's
up, guys? I'm Matt. I was here last year for the mock draft. You know, it's a lot of fun. Happy to be back alongside Connor. Hopefully, take some players that he's, maybe has his eye on and just, stay ahead of him.
Yeah, ruin my evening. That's the whole reason why you're here. Both from a aspect of take the players I want and just by your presence. Just ruins my evening. So thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Connor, Zach, Matt, good to see all you guys tonight. I'm really excited we're getting this mock up and running, and this live stream is going to be great. Ready to get after it.
Yeah.
Good to have you, Nick.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get right after it, guys. So should we just jump right into it and start this draft?
Let's. I think you're up first here, picking for the Jags. So
I
take it away.
So yeah, I wish we had little on the clock, little doo-doo-doo-doo. That's what I think we need right now, just to start.
I think you could just do that every time.
Yeah.
Please listen. Please don't tempt me because I would do that. I would do that. So first pick, I think this is a super easy one. Jags in the market for a quarterback. They're gonna go Mac Jones. No, just kidding. Mac Jones. They're gonna obviously go Trevor Lawrence there at number one. That's the guy. That's the one everybody's talking about. Since we saw what he did his freshman year, we knew he was gonna get taken over at number one just because he freaking lights up the field every time he's on it. So yeah, I think there's not much more to say than that. Super easy choice there. Number one is going Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's well, I'm sitting here at 2 for the Jets. We were kind of hoping he was going to slide, but that's
no chance. Maybe you should offer me something, trade it up. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely should have given up.
Should have made a deal happen. Yeah.
I honestly, do you think that the Jaguars would take the entire Jets roster for the number one pick? Because I would say no.
No,
I would say no.
Definitely not.
I would say no.
I say the Jets. The Jets offer their whole roster and the ability to play in New York in exchange, and then
pretty much.
But you know what? That actually might be a good deal because I think most Jacksonville fans come from New York because everybody from New York moves to Florida at some point. So I think that they would just carry those fans over and be perfect.
That's fair.
Yeah, but
anyway,
so the warm weather.
That's true. But you're also you're not like in Miami or Tampa. Like that's a cool spot.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'm up for the Jets. I'm up for the Jets. No, we're good. I'm up for the Jets. We've talked about this a lot. I think I'm going to say a 95% chance this pick happens, barring something catastrophic, that the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson. He has been kind of tied to them since his pro day. I think that Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones have kind of fallen into tier 2. But it looks like Wilson is definitely going to be the pick at 2. Again, barring something catastrophic. But I'm going to go ahead and make that pick for the Jets.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think those first 2 picks are pretty much set, not set in stone. Nothing's set in stone, but it's pretty clear at this point. And then the draft really kind of gets underway here with the 3rd pick for the 49ers. And this is something where there's been so much talk, and the 49ers have been linked so much to this entire process to Mac Jones. But at the end of the day, a lot of this at this time is smoke and mirrors, and a lot of it is question marks, and a lot of it is what's actually is the organization going to do. And I don't think that they're leaking who they actually are going to end up taking here. So that being said, I'm going to roll with Trey Lance. I think he's got the highest upside of these 3 guys that are left on the board. The Mac Jones move is something where, yes, it may help them right now in the short term, but in the long term, down the road, it's one of those things where I think that they are going to make the right decision for their long-term future of their organization and go with a guy who could potentially be one of the top-tier quarterbacks in this league come a few years down the line.
Nick, I'm not gonna lie, you just absolutely rocked my world. I was expecting you're saying like Justin, you're like, oh, they're revealing their hand with the Mac Jones thing. I was like, oh, he's gonna say they're gonna take Justin Fields. And then no, out of left field, we get the Trey Lance pick. Nick, you're kicking things off. This is the type of excitement I love from the draft, and you're just starting it off. You should be the GM of the 49ers.
Hey, come on. I mean, your Raiders took Cleveland Farrell at 4th overall a couple years ago. No one was expecting that. So
you're right. And we took Damon Arnett last year. We could I should be completely used to surprises and picks that maybe don't make the most sense. So, yeah. Also, real quick, I want to bring up, did you guys see that quote by Kyle Shanahan? That when the press asked him the other day, they were like, yeah, what do you think about the Jimmy G thing? And he's like, I can't guarantee anyone will be alive by Sunday. Kyle Shanahan is contemplating murder at this point, folks. I don't know if he can't trade Jimmy G, he may kill him to avoid losing that cap. But yeah, I just thought that quote was absolutely hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But Zach, you're up, man. You want to take it away?
Yeah. So I think at number 4 is again where it gets a little enticing. I was not anticipating Trey Lance pick right there. I was anticipating him to go Mac Jones. The Falcons are rumored to be enamored with Trey Lance. So if Trey Lance fell here, because he has a lot of comps to Ryan Tannehill, who obviously is connected with Arthur Smith, the new Falcons coach. So if Trey Lance was here, I probably would have picked him. But there's just something. There hasn't been a lot connecting Justin Fields to the Falcons, which in draft season might mean that Justin Fields is a Falcon. He's a Georgia kid. But I'm going to go trust Matty Ice for a couple more years and take Kyle Pitts, the best weapon on the board, and give Matty Ice. Now he has Calvin Ridley, Julio, and Kyle Pitts. Have fun stopping that. And let's see if the Falcons can get it rolling with Kyle Pitts.
Ooh, that's interesting. We still got some quarterbacks on the board. I like this already. We're shaking things up. Good stuff. I think
I was going to consider a trade, but Kyle Pitts is too good to trade away from.
Do you think Kyle Pitts is a generational tight end? All of you? Do we kind of on consensus with that, or we think it's all?
I think he's the best tight end that I've ever seen come out of the draft. To be honest with you.
Yeah, same.
I can't think of. I think Eric Ebron was a prospect who ended up in the top 10. Hawkinson ended up, I think, in the top 10. Noah Fant was a top 20 pick. Those are probably of the last decade, 3 of the best tight end prospects. And I think that we're talking about a tight end as a top 5 pick. I can't remember the last time that's ever happened.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He's an incredible player. It's going to be exciting to see what he could do. And him with Matty Ice and Julio, and that offense will be something to be afraid of. I guarantee that. So I
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say you were up with our most controversial pick of the draft, the most hotly contested pick. I feel like that
I know.
It's very controversial, and you're about to make a controversial decision, regardless of what you do.
Yeah, I know, Matt. When you made this little order for us, I felt so much weight being placed upon my shoulders, and I'm excited now to finally lift this burden. This is huge because there's 2 ways they can go here. We have the love glory story of reuniting Jamar Chase with, of course, the man himself, Big Joey Burrow. That'll be a beautiful thing to see, and that's I think what some people might want to see. But at the same time, how can Joe Burrow throw to Jamar Chase if he has no protection? Because we know how bad that offensive line was. Yeah, Matt, I know you're all about that offensive lineman pick, but I am a man of my word. And I on Halftime of Hudson, when we did our game show, I said that they were going to go wide receiver, and I got to stick by my word. I got to stick with my guns here. I think Jamar Chase is just too good to pass up. This is a deep offensive lineman group here that we have in this year's draft. So I'm going to take Jamar Chase at number 5 for the Bengals.
Yeah, that's.
I love it. I love it.
I know, Zach. I know you love it. That was your guy.
I was all for it.
I did hear just on top of that. I did hear a report the other day that supposedly the Bengals are leaning 65-35 in favor of Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. So again, it's how many insiders can you really trust up to the draft process? Sure. But just another thing to factor in there.
For sure. Listen, I think Jamar Chase is the guy for them.
Yeah, that just pained me a little. I won't lie.
I mean, you knew I was going to do it. You knew I was going to do it. Come on.
Hurt, man. It hurt. It just hurt so bad.
That scar on Joe Burrow's knee, though. I mean, it does. I mean, you see that picture. It's kind of hard not to take a tackle.
Yeah, well, they'll be. Hey, Zach, don't worry. There'll be another one real soon. Yeah. If Connor has anything to say about it, there'll be another big scar on Joe Burrow's knee. Yeah,
there might be. But it's going to be worth it when he throws 25 touchdowns to Jamar Chase. Just kidding. That's ridiculous. But he's going to go off. The duo will return. The power will come back. I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll see about that. All right. Anyway, I'm up at 6 now. Penei Sewell's on the board. There are some reports linking that the Dolphins potentially could go with Penei Sewell. I don't think they're going to. Honestly, with Chase off the board, I think that we just saw the report come out a little while ago that they apparently is some rumors that they do like Jalen Waddle just a little bit. And I think that I'm going to make that pick here. They need to bring in a weapon for Tua. The two best receivers on the board he played with, in Smith and Waddle. And I think Waddle projects better, or at least scouts feel he projects better as a pro. He's a little bit more electrifying with the ball in his hands, and is a better pro prospect than Smith. And I think that he is going to be the pick here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for Miami.
Interesting. I know we were just texting about that before, that they had Jalen Waddle ahead of Jamar Chase, and I just made your life easier for you there. That I took Jamar Chase off the board for you, but Jalen Waddle, definitely a good player. I think that's what Miami needs. They need a weapon for sure.
So that leads to me here at number 7. And here's an interesting pick for the Lions because, they have a plethora of needs this year on their football team. Obviously, one of the worst teams in the NFL last year. And with that being said, I am going to open up this pick to you three gentlemen to see if any of you have an interest in one of your teams trading up that you have control over. So let me know if you have any offers, and we'll see if we got a potential trade here.
Oh, man, this is tough. As currently the general manager of the Broncos, I do think that we are gonna probably, that's my next pick coming up. I think we're gonna sit. We feel good about where we're at. So I think it's the GM of the Broncos. I think we're gonna hang in there. I think we're all right.
Smart play, I think. Zach's foaming at the mouth right now. I think he has a potential trade here. I think
no. I got nothing. I was just thinking about the GM of the Broncos might want to worry a little bit.
I think the GM of the Broncos we're doing all right. I think there's two quarterbacks that we like left on the board.
Yeah.
And I don't think Detroit's taking one of them. So and if they do,
I got nothing to trade.
If they both come flying up, fine. But as in John Elway, we trust.
For me, wait, hold on. For me, I don't.
Go ahead.
I'm really conflicted right now because I see Penei Sewell sitting on the board. My Raiders need a tackle, man. I tell you what, but it's deep class. I'm gonna have to pass. I am so on the fence right now. I kind of want to trade, but I think I'll let you have this one, Nick.
So this then leads to an interesting predicament because I also have control of the New England Patriots in this mock draft here. So this leads me to believe, well, what are the Patriots doing here? They've been in conversations with the Carolina Panthers, but the way the board has unfolded, Penei Sewell is still available. I don't know what Zach is planning for the Carolina Panthers, if they're looking to trade out, if they're not looking to trade out. And frankly, I have no clue what the Detroit Lions are going to do here. I think that there's a ton of directions they can go. I think they have a ton of needs. And I think that because of that, they are going to trade back. They're going to look to trade back and acquire more picks, acquire more options to draft players in this 2021 draft. So that being said, if I'm allowed to do this, because I do have controls of both pick, I'll go to you guys to veto this if you think it shouldn't be allowed. But I will have the Patriots trade up here to the 7th spot.
I'm okay with that. I think that I actually looked to see because I thought Zach was the owner of the Patriots, and I saw that he wasn't. And I was like, because when I was like, oh, Zach's foaming at the mouth, I'm like, oh, he must have the Pats.
That's what I thought too. That's what I thought too.
So I'm in favor of it. I think that New England is going to get, if this scenario that we're currently having, I would be stunned if Bill Belichick is not making some phone calls. The only thing that I am going to say is that no, I'm cool with it. I'm fine.
Okay, because I do believe that I do believe that the Patriots are going to be moving up in some way, shape, or form if the board falls like this, if Justin Fields is still available. So I'm going to go ahead. They are going to move up to 7 in this draft, and they will be taking Justin Fields with this selection.
Good pick. I like that. I like that move. Spicing things up already with the trades. Good stuff. Nick, masterclass move there. I think you set yourself up for that. I don't know. That was a little. I'm just kidding. I love it. I love it. Zach, take it away.
All right. I got the Panthers at 8. I'm not sure. I've been conflicted about the Patriots after I heard Kyle Shanahan's thing. I think Jimmy G to the Patriots for a 1st or 2nd round pick might be back in the card, but I like the thinking there. If with the Panthers here, there's been a whole lot of rumors here that even though they traded for Sam Darnold, they're all in on Justin Fields. You just swooped in right before me and took him. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Fields if he was sitting in their lap. But since he's not there, I will also open it up for trades. But if nobody has any trades to offer, there's some pretty enticing prospects for the Panthers sitting there.
Yeah, no, once again, as the GM of the Broncos, we feel good where we're at. We're good at 9 here.
Listen, I don't know. These offensive tackles, they're sliding right now. So I think I might be okay at 17 with the Raiders, or honestly, any of my picks. I think I might be safe sitting back where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna hang back here. I'm comfortable where I'm at.
All right.
I'm also gonna stay put. Yep.
All right. Well, then I guess the Panthers, the one thing for them to do, their line, they just had Taylor Martin signed back. They have a hole on the other side of the line. Plug in Penei Sewell, give Sam Darnold some offensive line protection, something the Jets didn't give him, and see if he can go out there and ball out. And since Fields isn't sitting there, I don't think Mac Jones is intriguing enough for them because they want someone a little more athletic. So I think they'll sit in there and they'll take Penei Sewell, the best tackle in the draft.
I like that. I agree. I think it's a smart choice. Protect Sam Darnold and let the man eat. So, Matt, you've been alluding to this pick now for the past 2 to 3 picks, saying how you are the GM of the Broncos. So go ahead and take it away. Have some fun with it.
Well, in the most John Elway fashion, we had some very exciting quarterbacks on the board. We've seen what Zach Wilson can do. The athleticism of Justin Fields and Trey Lance is it's salivating. It's beautiful. They're these just talented athletes, and Zach Wilson can do incredible things with the ball in his hand. But since I am in John Elway's shoes, I am going to take the most boring, vanilla quarterback on the board to pair with Drew Lock, and I'm going to take Mac Jones because that is what John Elway would do in my position.
That is exactly what John Elway would do. I have no doubts about that in my mind, that's what John Elway would do. The quarterback whisperer, as they say, as they call this man, who is not a quarterback whisperer at all by any means. But I think it makes sense. I think it's a smart pick. So that brings me to the Cowboys. Now, look, I think Rashawn Slater's still on the board. You could take him. He's probably one of the best players available right now at this moment. But I think the biggest problem with the Cowboys is that defense is god awful, right? That's especially that secondary, absolute Swiss cheese. So I think what you got to do here is you got to go out, you got to go and get yourself a solid corner. J.C. Horn's on the board and Patrick Surtain, but I think I might put Patrick Surtain a little bit above J.C. Horn. I'm gonna take Pat here right now. Build that Cowboys defense. They God knows they need it. They got to do something now that Dak is back. They got to do something to make sure the team doesn't outscore them.
And now that Dan Quinn is the new defensive coordinator there, I think, adding to the defense, and it's not like they don't have players on their defense already. They've got decent assets on that side of the ball, but I think with some better head coaching and a good pickup like that, I think that'd be a smart choice for Dallas in that situation.
For sure.
All right. Well, that leads me to the big Giants here at 11.
Show and, Danny Dimes. Show off the Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I got that Danny Dimes jersey right there.
Dimes, the man.
I may have some Cowboys fans there too watching. So, Cowboys suck. They always suck. So, at 11, Devontae Smith sitting right there. Micah Parsons out in defense, and Slater too for the tackle. But the Giants just invested capital in the tackle last year. The offense was the 31st ranked offense. This is a prove it year for Danny Dimes. Give him Devontae Smith, Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, and Darius Slayton with Saquon back, Evan Ingram, and a line that will improve. And let's see the Giants offense cook this year. Give us Devontae Smith.
Wow, I like that.
Are we assuming Evan Ingram's going to be healthy?
No, we don't care about Evan Ingram. He's just a bonus piece.
Just making sure.
He's just a bonus.
Yeah, but I like that. I like Devontae Smith's a stud. Yeah, he's a stud. I think that's good. Make that offense more explosive. Definitely good stuff.
I'll double down on receiver. I like that for the Giants. That takes us to the Eagles. The NFC East is just all up here at the top.
Yep, there they are. They're where they belong. Where they belong at the bottom. At the top, but in reality at the bottom. That's where they belong.
Yep, nobody picking outside the top 20. And that will lead to the next pick here at 12, and it's another NFC East team, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Devonta Smith was certainly someone that I was eyeing for this pick, but now that he is off the board, Micah Parsons is certainly intriguing, but I think there's still a lot of question marks with him, and specifically at a position like inside linebacker. I think that's something that you have to be cautious about when you specifically have character issues and disagreements that he's had, with his teammates as well as some of the other incidents he's had. So I think that's something that doesn't necessarily get overlooked. And there's another prospect that is extremely juicy in this situation, and that is J.C. Horn at the cornerback position, which is always a position of need for NFL teams. And J.C. Horn, I have it written down right here. Pro Football Focus put it best when it comes to J.C. Horn. They described his playing style. He plays every snap like the man across from him personally offended him. That's the type of guy that can bring an edge to any defense. And if you've watched him play, he plays with that style, snap in and snap out. So I have the Eagles taking him here opposite Darius Slay, who they brought in last season. I think it would be a good start to rebuilding. Not necessarily rebuilding, but continuing to reshape that defense in Philadelphia.
I like that. The edge, man. Talking about how he brings that edge, that's something they love in Philadelphia. Fans and the team alike, they love bringing that edge to the team. I love that pick. J.C. Horn to the Eagles. That's good stuff.
Devontae Smith will cook him. That's all right.
Yeah, and
that could be a matchup that we watch out for a couple of years. I like that.
When J.C. Horn has one bad game, I'm sure the Eagles fans will turn on him.
Yeah, they'll throw batteries on him.
Yeah,
throw batteries. Yeah.
We're back to Connor.
Back to me.
Chargers.
Oh my god.
Back to you.
Wow. So see what I can do right now is sabotage my opponent. Not take Rashawn Slater, who's obviously the best player available. And I mean, hey, you gotta protect Justin Herbert, I think, and they clearly need an offensive tackle. I could skip out on Rashawn Slater and see if he falls to my Raiders, but I'm not gonna do that. I think Rashawn Slater here is the guy you go out and get. Guy was a stud at Northwestern, and he's only impressed since then in his workouts and at his pro day. He looked great. So I think Rashawn Slater's the pick here. You got to protect Justin Herbert. Guy's an incredible player. And yeah, just keep adding pieces there. Let's go out and get Rashawn Slater.
Yeah.
that.
No, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt. All right, yeah. I mean, he was a guy, he opted out last year too. Sorry about that, Matt. But I mean, not a single sack in his 2019 season, including a game against Chase Young. I know that game against Chase Young has continually been talked about among analysts. So definitely a guy that I think at that position is going to be a great pickup for the Chargers.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and that makes things a little bit interesting here for me at pick 14 with the Vikings. We do need to protect Kirk Cousins. I think that's very obvious if you've watched the Vikings play. There's a lot of talent on that offense. You got to kind of find a way to gel it all together, and I think that's normally done on the offensive line. So we could really, with Slater off the board, we really could go in one of two directions here. We could either address the tackle position, or we could find someone who could play inside. But I think our left tackle need is just a little bit bigger. Right now, I think like Rashad Hill is slated to be the Vikings starting left tackle. I don't feel good about that. I don't think anyone feels good about that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take Christian Darrisaw, and I think that this is a pick that, depending on how the draft shakes up, I don't know if it's necessarily gonna happen, but in our little world here, he's on the board. If not, though, I do expect the Vikings to target someone like Elijah Vera Tucker. I think that he could just fit very easily into a guard, but with a premium tackle on the board, one of those top three that have kind of been discussed, I think that it makes a ton of sense for the Vikings to make that pick. So I'm gonna do it.
I like that. That's good. He's a really good piece to jump in and put him in there at left tackle. So I like that. Protect Captain Kirk, baby. You like that?
Yeah.
As Captain Kirk would say. I like that. Zach, look at this. Conveniently, you're back up on the board. Wait, no. Who's up on the board now? Excuse me.
So this is me. This is me now.
That's right.
This is where we had the big mock
trading
trade
with
here.
yourself.
Yeah.
The trading with yourself. That's right. I got confused. Nick,
trading.
Trading with yourself. Nick, take it away. Tell me what's going on here with Detroit.
So yeah, I mean here with Detroit. I mean, I alluded to it earlier. I mean, Detroit can go in so many different directions, and frankly, their defense was pretty porous last year, and Micah Parsons is still sitting on the board there. He's been passed up by a couple teams, including me with the Eagles, not long ago at pick 12. So here with 15 is where I think the slide ends for him. I'm really curious how this dynamic could work with Dan Campbell, who's the new head coach there, a guy who clearly brings the intensity. Everybody remembers his first press conference in Detroit. We're going to bite kneecaps off. So I'm interested to see how he could potentially be utilized with a guy like Dan Campbell. So I have him going here at 15 to the Lions.
I like it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of situation, and maybe we can overlook some character issues considering we already anticipate biting kneecaps.
Yeah.
I think.
My question, Matt, is he a nice guy? Is he a nice guy or?
Listen, man. It is valuable to have a linebacker who's a nice guy.
It is.
He's not as nice of a guy as Kenneth Murray was last year, but I would definitely not say so. Michael Parsons might just be a little bit better of a football player. So
I completely agree. Well, who's up now? Pick 16.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm up.
You get back to Zach.
I got the Cardinals. All right, so I got a Cardinals friend. Actually, I have a friend who's a big-time Cardinals fan, so I shot him a text and consulted. He's watching live. And so I shot him a text. And so I was thinking the Cardinals are big in the trade rumors right now to trade up for a wide receiver because to pair with DeAndre Hopkins, which I could see. I wouldn't be for giving up draft capital like that to go get a wide receiver because that's going to be a big jump to get a wide receiver. So after my consult, we like Greg Newsome, the corner out of Northwestern, because corner is the biggest need for the Cardinals right now. He's a little down. Caleb Farley scared him and scared me a little bit too with his back injury, especially in this year where people couldn't really examine him. He's probably a top 10 talent, but he's going to slide because of his back injury. And I saw Greg Newsome make that one-handed pick against Ohio State and Justin Fields in the Big Ten Championship. Fell in love with him. So Greg Newsome, he's the pick here.
Interesting pick. Someone unexpected just because Caleb Farley's there. But I will say, Caleb Farley's back issue is scary because back issues are so bad. I feel like that could ruin your career if you tweak it again. It's really, really bad stuff. But yeah, Greg Newsome, get that corner. Let's get it. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is going to end up going ahead of Farley in this draft just because of those back issues and the fact that Newsome stock has been on the rise.
Yeah.
I'm just questioning this consultant here. I'm a little sketched out about Zach's contacts over there. This has me a little worried about.
He used his phone a friend. That's why.
Yeah. All of a sudden, when I'm going to be making a pick, Zach's contacts are going to be interfering.
Contacts are calling. My contacts were calling. I gotta respond. I gotta trust my sources.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fair. All right, Connor, you're up here, man. And this is a special pick to you, so go right ahead.
This is a very, very, very important pick. Let me tell you that much. Because listen, there are so many things I can. Okay, I'm just looking at the board right now. Right, Caleb Farley's there. Listen, I don't think we need to go out and get a corner, but he's there. But again, I'm scared of that back injury. Zaven Collins is a good player. He's a good linebacker. And so is who I've heard the Raiders have been kind of rumored to be interested is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, which I could have just completely butchered that name, but I think I said it right. Listen, I've heard the Raiders are interested in him as well, but I think they're going to trust Nick Morrow, our backup linebacker. They're going to use him a lot, almost like a little bit of the Swiss Army knife there at linebacker. Here's what I think. I think who I'm looking at right now, who I've been saying I've been interested in, is Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins, big guy. He's been compared to the one and only Trent Brown, who we used to have until we traded him. The guy barely played anyway. But I think that's the guy we get here. Tevin Jenkins is a really solid guy. He's a mauler. I think you can plug him in at right tackle. He can make a difference both in pass protection, and he could really push some people around for Josh Jacobs when it comes to the run game. So I think Tevin Jenkins is the pick here. We really got to go out and get an offensive lineman.
That's interesting. I like it. I don't know what the Raiders are doing, cutting their entire offensive line this year, but they got to fill that hole there. What we know is that there's no chance John Gruden takes Tevin Jenkins. It's somebody who's way down the draft boards that is going to come up, and the Raiders are going to surprise everyone and throw a wrinkle in. But I like the Tevin Jenkins pick. I would pick Tevin Jenkins there, but I don't know. They might have cut their offensive tackles for a reason.
I know. There's the rub. It's that we got. It's Mike Mayock and John Gruden. I don't know if they always make a pick that makes sense. So I think listen. They might go and get an offensive tackle, but it could be a guy of third round value. So I'm not entirely sure.
I was just about to say, why are we not taking a guy who's projected to go on day 2 or day 3?
Why are we not?
if we're the Raiders, we should be taking a guy projected going round.
Guys, I don't think I can't accept this Raider slander, man. I come on here, I talk about my team, and I get absolutely assaulted. Listen. This is going to be the year. Listen, I'm going to eat my words. I think this may be the year that we take the guy that is of value at our position. I think
it's going to be a quarterback.
I'll put money on that not happening.
Yeah, you know what? I think I would too, to be honest. And I'm a Raiders fan, but
exactly. So I am now back up for the Miami Dolphins.
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say this chat. I don't know if you guys can see the chat, but it is lighting up with Raiders hate. My friends Sean Courtney and Sam DiGiovanni are lighting this up. Raiders stink. Raiders projected 6th. Yeah, guys. Wow, the Raiders hate's real, guys. We have 17 games now this season, right? When we go 10-7, we're going to be second place or third place in the West again. You're going to regret it. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna make the playoffs this year. Mark my words. All right, that's enough about the Raiders. Somebody take away the Dolphins pick. Whoever's up.
That is myself here. Now, we already, we went and we got Jalen Waddle. We got our number one receiver on the other side of the ball. We're going to go on to defense now. I think there's, some people, they want to get a little Alabama trigger happy, maybe put Najee Harris in the spot and, just turn the Miami Dolphins into the Crimson Tide. We're not doing that. We have a better head on our shoulders. We're going to – there's a little bit of buzz that the Dolphins want to get a pass rusher. I think in Brian Flores' 3-4 system, there's a couple guys who make sense here. Azeez Ujulari makes a little bit of sense. Jalen Phillips makes sense. But we're going to the Midwest, going to the Big Ten. We're going to take Kwity Paye. We're going to just plug him right into that edge spot. He's probably the safest of the edge rushers. He's been, productive throughout college. He's not, he's a talent. He's not all based on athleticism. He's produced at a high level for a long time. And I think that's the kind of thing that the Dolphins are looking for here. They have a little bit of a history of taking guys from bigger schools, more trusted football programs. And I think Paye is going to be the pick.
Kwity Paye. I like that. That's an interesting pick. Get Brian Flores his man. I love me some Brian Flores, so I trust that man so much.
As do I.
I trust Brian Flores.
Okay, that's fair. Whatever it has to be.
Who's got the Washington football team now? Nick, is this you, my man? Is this you, Washington football team?
Yeah, I am up at 19. So excuse me for I'm cutting in and out here a little bit with Wi-Fi, but I was able to get the last 2 picks, so I'm going to try and keep plugging through. So here at 19, the way that this Washington defense is structured right now, with so much power up front, Chase Young, Montez Sweat. I could go on talking about all these guys, but anyway, my point here is they've got so much power up front on the defensive line, and a prospect that I really like that I think could fit underneath or behind that defensive line is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. When you passed on him with the Raiders, I thought that definitely could have been a fit here, but I think it's a fit here too. And you mentioned how in college he was used kind of as a rover at Notre Dame. Didn't specifically fit into the mold of a safety or a linebacker. He was kind of an all over the field rover. Reminds me a lot of Isaiah Simmons last year with a little bit of a smaller build. So the pick here is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and behind that defensive line, I think he can be used in a lot of ways. And so I'm going to have him here at 19 to the Washington football team.
I like that. I think Jeremiah's a fantastic player, and that's why I kind of was really intrigued by maybe the Raiders taking him. But yeah, listen, I think that that's a great pick there for Washington. He can plug it and play.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the chat real quick. The Raiders are getting some real hate.
Getting some hate, man. Listen. When we win the West next year, I'm gonna be the one laughing, baby. I'm gonna be the one laughing.
Being laughed at.
Yeah, maybe.
And then
it's okay.
We got some hate
it's okay.
Danny
Listen, as a Raiders fan, the hate is something that I am used to. So I am not offended or upset by this hate whatsoever because, hey, sometimes I hate the team too. So it's okay. But Zach, you're getting some comments too to take off the Danny Turnovers jersey. What's going on there?
It's sad Cowboys fans that we beat them the last week of the season. I mean, they're just sad that they lost to Danny Dimes. They're so self-conscious about losing to Danny Dimes that they got to give him some hate because, Danny Dimes snapped all the Giants' losing streaks against the big rivals. So just let him hate. Danny Dimes will show it. When Devontae Smith there carving up the Cowboys defense, we'll be fine. All right, I got the Bears right now.
Let's get it.
The Bears are really interesting. I was considering moving up for a quarterback here. I actually think that they will eventually take a quarterback, but they have so many holes in their offensive line too right now. And somehow Elijah Vera Tucker has fallen all the way to the 20th pick. I think he's way too good to pass up for them. Even if you put Andy Dalton back there, if you give Andy Dalton time, you can have a semi-successful season here. And you're building for the future. The draft's not just for 1 year. So I definitely think that Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be the pick here for the Bears if he's on the board.
Yeah.
I'm gonna second that. I think that the Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond sweepstakes will be very interesting on in rounds 2 and 3. I think the Bears definitely could be involved in that, but if the Bears take Kyle Trask on day 1, we can all just share a laugh together. Because it shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen.
And Davis Mills is getting a lot of heat now too to be the 5th quarter or the 6th quarterback off the board.
I mean, he was the number one when this. I mean, he was a different group with like Lawrence and Fields.
Ago. Yeah,
but he was the number one guy at high school, I believe. He was the guy, and you end up in the Pac-12, and sometimes you get forgotten about. So, wouldn't be shocked to see him up there either.
Listen, what I'm gonna do here, because I'm up for the Colts right now. I know Nick, we just lost Nick for a quick second, and I'll open it up to him when he comes back. But we're at the Colts right now, and listen, they could definitely use an offensive lineman. They could use a wide receiver. They could use a corner, but I don't really know. I mean, yeah, Caleb Farley's there, but if somebody's interested in trade with me, I'd be open to it. Is anybody interested in moving on up here?
I got
Zach, you're waiting. I saw you waiting. I
got you a trade.
What's up?
The Ravens are sitting here at 27, and the Ravens desperately need a receiver for Lamar. After trading Orlando Brown, too, they got an extra first-round pick, so they have opportunity to move up a little bit. They'll probably give you a second-round pick or something to move back. Or you'll get, like, the 27th pick here you'll get for the Colts to move down, and then you'll probably get, like, an additional second or something because they've just picked one up. So if you want that, I'll move up.
You know what? Zach, take it away. You can come on and move up here for the Ravens, and I'll gladly slide back as the Colts. We can get somebody else that we want later on, I believe. Caleb Farr's there. He might still slide back. We might get an offensive tackle, better value a little later. So come on up, slide up, and take this position.
I'm curious to see what receiver Zach's in love with here.
Yeah,
we must get ahead of 10. And I've heard Tennessee is interested in adding another receiver. So I like this. I'm interested to see who Zach's in love with here that we got to take.
If you trade up to get Rashad Bateman, I think that's what he's doing here, and I'm kind of surprised. Not gonna lie. But Zach, take it away. I don't want to steal your thunder.
I'm kind of torn here because the Ravens already have Hollywood Brown, and he's the speedster receiver. Rashad Bateman is the big body, and he's a speedster. But the guy generating the most buzz on people's draft awards right now is Elijah Moore, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. And he is also the guy that the Titans really like a lot to come play because A.J. Brown is another Ole Miss guy, and they have a connection. And Rashad Bateman, he's very trendy, but he's also kind of fallen back a little bit, which is slightly surprising because he had some COVID things and didn't play much this season. Elijah Moore put a lot of tape on. He's a speed burner, and he's going to come in and give Lamar another weapon. I know they might want a big body guy, but they're all about the speed and explosiveness. I think they're all in on Elijah Moore.
Interesting. But I want to know, do you guys have anything to say about that? That's interesting because I'm surprised you picked him over Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman is really good, but Elijah Moore definitely a good fit there. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about that?
I would say I think a lot of people want the Ravens to kind of they already have Hollywood Brown. Let's go pair a big body possession receiver. It doesn't really. The Ravens offense doesn't need a big body possession receiver.
No,
they in the red zone. Mark Andrews is their go-to guy down there. They run the ball a ton. They don't need there really is no need of the way the use that they have for Lamar Jackson. It's not like we're taking balls off the top that often. We need guys who can get behind DBs on play action and guys who can get open in tight spaces for a lot of these RPO and option throws and we don't need a big body receiver to do that.
Yeah, I think it ultimately comes down to just which guy they think is the better wide receiver overall. Because if you actually look at the numbers, I think while Moore would line up in the slot more than Rashad Bateman, I think Rashad Bateman still took 65% of his snaps from the slot. So while we think of Rashad Bateman as a little bit more of a big body receiver, I think that his ability to also play in the slot yet still have that big catch ability is something that could be attractive. But like I said before, I think it's whichever one these guys value more.
Yeah, I saw on Todd McShay's big board, his buzz, he did a little buzz article. He said that Elijah Moore is starting to become a consensus number 4 receiver on people's big boards, which was slightly shocking. But, I'll trust that. And I saw a couple of Ole Miss games last year, and Elijah Moore's kind of got a burner. And I think that's perfect for the Ravens offense. Give him help. Give him more help. Let him cook.
I love it.
I love it.
Who we got up now on the Titans?
Matt, that's me again. All right, 3 picks in a row.
Yo, Zach, what's going on, man? You're like
he's making trades. He's making trades, yo.
He's making moves. Yeah, I know. He's running this board, man.
All right, so the Titans sit here, and they have to be very worried because last year they probably took the worst first-round pick of all time in Isaiah Wilson, who has managed to escape the league after 1 year for some lots of off-the-field problems. So the Titans sit here, and they got some defensive needs too, but they also got wide receiver needs. But their biggest need is on the defensive side, and they always seem one to take risks, and they will stop the Caleb Farley slide right here. And the Titans will take Caleb Farley and put him on that defense that's lost some corners. They've lost both Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler. Need a corner. Caleb Farley's got the talent. And back here in the 20s, it's less of a risk and a reach. You're not wasting huge amount of draft capital, a late 20s pick. And for a potential top 10 value, it's a good risk-reward situation.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I think if he could stay healthy, he's going to be a force for Tennessee, especially because they lost their corners now, too. They're going to need to fill that spot. So I love that.
Yeah.
On that pick.
That puts me in a tough spot here. We were the Jets were prepared at 23 to end the Caleb Farley slide ourselves. Yeah, that's going to put us in a very, very interesting spot. And I think that there's a lot of intriguing prospects on defense here. But we have selected a quarterback with our first pick here. We have Zach Wilson. I think we have to commit early to doing everything in our power to have Zach Wilson ready on day one. We drafted some O-line last year, Kai Becton. We're going to take another risk ourselves and go with Landon Dickerson, put him at center or guard. Right now, the Jets starting center, I think, is Connor McGovern, who I've watched him play in Denver. There's nothing special going on there. We're very good at the tackles in New York, but we got to improve the interior of this O-line because no matter who is behind there, we do not have a great amount of weapons right now in New York. So let's at least create an identity, maybe build an O-line. And I think that Dickerson, fills that need for the Jets as well as allows us to go defense pretty much the rest of the way for the next couple rounds. Obviously, we're not picking more than round 1 here, but on day 2, it allows us to make some more of those picks on defense.
I like it. That's interesting because he tore his ACL in December too, so there's some medical things there. But when he was playing for Alabama, he was mauling people, and he's funny. He's always in those videos doing like cartwheels behind Mac Jones now. So my guess he's pretty healthy if he's doing cartwheels.
Yeah, it's like I said, we're taking a little bit of a risk here, but I think
I like it.
Thing is, the Jets, this is what we got to do.
Yeah, I like that. Build that identity on the front offensive line because that sets the tempo for the whole offense. If you got that good, tough, get in your face offensive line, sets the tempo. Real quick, Nick, before we kick it over to you and your team, I'd like to say to everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning us in. We're at pick 24 right now out of the obvious 32. Really appreciate everyone who's tuned in so far. It's been a really great, whole lot of fun here actually doing this live and having people communicate with us live. It's been a totally different experience, but a lot of fun. And I see Sean, you asked a quick question. Is Darius Star still on the board? No, he is not. We picked him earlier. I think who picked him earlier? Matt, was that you that picked him?
Yeah, he's currently a member of the Minnesota Vikings.
He's the Purple People Eater. There you go. So with that, Nick, I'm going to kick it back over to you. This is your big one. I had my big one. This is your big one right now. Let's go. Let's see what you got. Actually, we all had our big one. This is all you. This is a tough one.
This is a Steelers pick that I struggle with so much because if you know me, you know I am vehemently against the idea of picking a running back in the first round. Completely against it. You can find these guys in the second, third, fourth round. There's mid-round star running backs all the time. I could list 5 off the top of my head in the NFL right now. And at the end of the day, the way this board ended up falling to me, is not ideal for the Steelers picking anywhere but running back. I know that they still have interest supposedly in Zaven Collins and Jason Owe, Azeez Ojulari, but I think outside of Tevin Jenkins, who is already off the board, I don't know if there's anybody else that they really feel is the guy for them, somebody that they are going to go out and select with this first round pick. And they're still filling a hole by bringing in Najee Harris. So while I don't want this pick to be the pick, I'm going to do something first before I select it and open up this pick for trade back into a later pick in the first round. So if any of you guys are interested or have a team that could potentially move up here, let me know. That would be the ideal scenario for the Steelers here before this pick is made.
Yeah,
you gentlemen can go first. I got to think if I want to move up at all.
I'm looking around here, and man, it's tricky. It's definitely very tricky.
The Ravens aren't moving back up.
I almost want to.
I would decline that trade as Kevin Colbert. Yeah, we are not accepting a trade with the Ravens. Sorry.
I am currently the general manager of the Buffalo Bills back here at 30, and there's a lot of buzz that the Bills, against Nick's better judgment and my own better judgment, do want a running back in round one. That they have been linked to Travis Etienne for a little bit, and I think that they're in a position as a team to go up and potentially make an offer to get up and get a guy that they really love. So I don't know exactly what a trade would look like here. But if I was the Buffalo Bills and I really had a guy that I wanted and I thought this was maybe the missing piece to our offense because we are talented everywhere else as an organization. We have no holes in this roster. I think the Bills potentially might make a call, and if Nick, you allow me to, I will, maybe offer. I have no idea. Maybe a third. And a fourth,
that sounds like a fantastic offer.
Maybe you throw in a fifth. I'll give you like a third and a fourth, and maybe a future third. And we would like to come up 6 spots here to get our guy.
So you're offering me the pick swap too in the first round, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm giving you okay. 30 and some other picks, and we'll maybe do a little handshake and call it a day.
All right, now here's the thing for the Steelers. I think a pick back here would be good if it were to feature either an additional second round pick. If you were to trade for a team, get maybe 1 or 2 extra second round picks and just go in with 3 second round picks in that scenario, or trade back with a team perhaps like the Bills, get their first and their second. So that's something I would consider. So yeah, for the sake of the show, let's trade back to 30. Let's do it.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nick, to have you waiting in anticipation. I didn't know what was going to happen. That was intense.
Let's pull the trigger. I was like, wow, you're going to ask for a trade back, and are you going to turn Matt down? You're going to block as much as I believe that the Steelers, are going to end up making this pick unless they get, a truly good offer. Because I do feel that Najee Harris is one of their top guys on their board at this point. But I think that there's still potential for them to get a running back later on. So for the sake of this mock draft, let's do the trade.
Yeah, and I think for the Bills, this makes a lot of sense because the Jaguars and the Saints are 2 very, very tricky teams in front of them that potentially could trade out. There's been a decent amount of talk about the Jaguars trading back out of 25 and just collecting more picks. And I think that if the Bills really do want ETN, which there are some reports saying that they do, and I believe it because, again, like I said before, they're great everywhere else. So I'm going to go up and make this pick for the Bills. We're going to get Travis Etienne. He's going to be – I know that we all talk about Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. If you watch Clemson football over the last couple of years, Travis Etienne – at a majority of the time was the centerpiece of that offense. It all started and ended with him. And I think that you put him in Buffalo where obviously you have Josh Allen, you have Stephon Diggs, but Travis Etienne is a playmaker out of the backfield as a pass catcher or between the tackles. He is a complete running back. And I think that he would do a lot of damage in the AFC.
I like that. I think I like that. Yeah, that's like the one thing I feel like the Buffalo's really missing is getting that piece for their running back. I think so. I think that's a really good pickup. I like that a lot. which leads me to the Jaguars again. This is my second Jaguars pick. I love it. Getting me there for the Jags. Listen, I think this pick is kind of hard because I think there's a lot of needs that can be addressed with this pick. It wouldn't hurt to add to the defense. Davon Collins still on the board, and so is Jalen Phillips. I think both of them are definitely that's kind of like a value pick right there. Somebody you think you take just because of how talented they are, whether or not you need them. Christian Barmore also on the board. Azeez Ojulari, Najee Harris, Nick, as you said, I think that would be a really sick pairing him with someone like Trevor Lawrence. But I think that you get Trevor Lawrence, you got to protect Trevor Lawrence. You're not going to have him get rushed all the time. And, how's he going to throw the ball down there in Jacksonville if he's got nobody to protect for him? And they don't really have anyone on that line super notable, in my opinion, that could really do the job. So I think here I might go out and get a really versatile offensive lineman. Yeah, he's listed as a tackle, but I think he can plug in and play at guard as well. I think I might go here and take Alex Leatherwood. Just because of his ability to be moved around, I think would be really good for that team. So I think I'm going to take him there. I think it's because they have the ability to play him at guard and then eventually potentially move him over. If he plays well enough, move him over to a tackle spot. So I think Alex Leatherwood's the guy here for the Jags.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same philosophy that I took with the Jets. We're going to get a guy, we got to protect the guy. If not, aforementioned show JPEG of Joe Burrow's knee scar.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're coming at my Jamar Chase,
quite a way to put it.
Yeah,
it's the only way that I can put it, Nick.
Hey, I respect it. I respect it. Graphic, but it gets the point across.
It does. It really does. This puts me back up here. This is because I already traded. This is gonna be my last pick. Wow, sentimental here. It's been a great time, but who knows, maybe I'll trade back in from round two. But the Cleveland Browns, there are a lot of intriguing defensive players on the board for Cleveland. I think that had they not picked up Jadeveon Clowney, we're gonna go get another edge guy. But I mean, we are just we have Myles Garrett and Clowney coming off opposite ends here. There's two guys in mind here that I really, really like. First is Davon Collins. I think he fits really well in Cleveland. I think that they need more speed behind, their front four. Anthony Walker is a guy that I love that they brought in, and he is going to kind of provide that. And Collins would pair very well with him. But we're going to go in a different direction and take the other guy that I really, really like, which is Christian Barmore. I think that this would be a very, very easy pick for the Browns to make. They have an obvious need at defensive tackle. He fits right in there. Andrew Billings is also, I believe, on the Browns. He's solid, but we could bring in more guys as some of those other free agents go. We need more depth on the D-line because we're not going to be able to keep all these pieces together forever. It's a little reminiscent of when the Packers took Kenny Clark. They had a lot of guys up front already, but they ended up bringing Kenny Clark, letting a lot of those other guys walk. And now the D-line is built around Kenny Clark. And not that I think Myles Garrett's going anywhere, but we're not going to be able to pay Jadeveon Clowney a ton of money for too long. So let's keep beefing up the line, and especially in the AFC, we've kind of seen the formula. You want to beat a team like the Chiefs, you want to beat a team like the Bills. We got to get after the quarterback. So I think that's the obvious pick here for the Browns.
I like it.
I mean, I think part of the fact too is just considering there's no clear-cut defensive backs here that you would want to take at this point. If anything, it might be a little bit of a reach at this point in the first round. There is still, at specifically the cornerback position, but I think just beefing up that defensive line, something that's already a strong suit for the Browns. If you can get to the quarterback at a high clip and you have guys rotating in who can continually get to the quarterback, it takes a lot of pressure off your secondary. So I think the pick makes sense to go defense here.
I agree, and I think the Browns do want to give Greedy Williams one more chance to start opposite of Denzel Ward. I debated, Asante Samuel Jr. here, FSU, but we're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna go ahead and get someone on the defensive line, which is my last pick, unless someone is a little maybe wants to trade a pick. Maybe I'll call back in from round two, but otherwise I'm off the clock officially.
I like that, Matt. Well, good stuff, man. If you don't end up trading back in, it was a pleasure hearing all of your picks and all of your knowledge on this topic tonight. I appreciate it. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, I'll be listen. The phone lines are open. I'm not going anywhere just yet.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Listen, I know. There's always the opportunity for a sequel. We can come back here and finish it up. But listen, I think is it my turn? I'm playing I'm coming as the Colts right now.
Yeah, you
right?
got the Colts right now. Yeah,
that's our trade. All right, so listen, I think with the Colts here, in a way, I think you kind of take best player available. Just build to that defense. I think Zaven Collins is really slid. I think taking him here would be great for the Colts because of his ability to play so many different roles. He can drop in coverage and play there. He can rush. He can also play in space. He's a good tackler. So I think right here, Zaven Collins would be the best play for the Colts from the perspective of, I think, just value overall. And, there's nobody else that really jumps out to me as a need here. There's no offensive lineman, no defensive tackle, excuse me. So I think that's the move here. So I'm locking in Zaven Collins here for the Colts.
I like it. Good pick for the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at this point, if he were to fall this far, given the fact too that he would trade back to this point, I think it'd be interesting too to see how he fits in that Colts defense alongside Darius Leonard. I think that'd be an interesting duo to see how it kind of meshes, how they could work together.
And the aforementioned Anthony Walker, who's now playing for the Browns, who left the Colts, Collins kind of fits right in that spot and just replaces him. Very easy.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Exactly.
Great value pick for them right there.
So that brings us to 28, and I will be picking with the Saints here. So at this position, I think the Saints do go best player available, and unless I missed this selection when my Wi-Fi was cutting out a little bit, again, that was my bad on my end. But if I'm correct, Jalen Phillips should still be on the board. And I mean, he's a guy, he's dealt with some concussion issues in college. I'm getting the thumbs up here. He dealt with some concussion issues in college, and I think the fact that he's sitting here at this point at the end of round one, I could definitely see him going higher in this draft, but just a super talented guy that's still on the board. So I'm going to have the Saints taking him here to beef up that defensive line a little bit, and I think that Trey, I forget exactly what his name was. He left to the Bengals in the offseason.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson.
Hendrickson, yeah, that's what I thought. So perhaps Jalen Phillips can fill in that role. I know he's spent time at Miami playing both on the outside and on the interior defensive line. So that's going to be the pick here for the Saints.
Yeah, he's another top 10 talent dude who just has injury histories. Him and Farley are both guys. If they didn't have their injuries, they'd be slam dunk top 10. And anybody who needs an edge, getting him at 28 is great value, especially since it's not really as risky and you might be getting a top 10 type of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I think having him fall that far and the Saints being there to scoop him up is perfect for that team. I think that's a great fit right there. So I think that brings it back to me, actually. I'm picking for the Packers now. And I think, look, the Packers, who knows? They're kind of like the Raiders, right? Who knows what they're going to do, especially after last year, taking Jordan Love. They took a running back in the second round when they already had two solid ones. And then they took a tight end in round 3, and then they were like, nah, we're just going to throw him in at fullback. So who literally knows what the hell the Packers are going to do? I feel like you can never know. Now, what I think makes sense here and what I think they should and could do is to go out and get a wide receiver, because I feel like they thought, we can get by this season with not taking a wide receiver, excuse me. I think they felt like they can get by with the group they had. Devontae Adams balled out. But as far as the rest of the bench, I mean, they played fine, but not good enough. And they only played fine because they have Aaron Rodgers there throwing on the rock, still playing at a high level at his age. So I think what the Packers go out and do here is go out and grab Rashad Bateman, plug him right in. Zach, are you laughing because you're mad, or are you laughing because you're happy? I don't know. But I think
the chat the chat's just got all types of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, Packers getting another fullback here. Listen, I can see it. I can see it. Right.
I'm just catching back up on the channel.
Tight end Tommy Tremble. Yeah, let's go. First round.
I missed some of the Derek Carr jokes too. I just had
to catch my God! Listen, they finally stopped, Zach, and I'm gonna bring him back on. Come on.
Like the one about Derek Carr, more like Derek Farr from Good.
Oh my! I can't take some good puns in here.
Yeah, we got some good.
Is there a little clever wordplay going on in the chat that I missed?
Yeah, there's some clever wordplay.
You good, and of course it's at the Raiders' expense again. Oh God!
And then we had some Steelers conspiracy theories, so we got some good stuff going on.
Yeah. So, somebody said Browns Cowboys Super Bowl. Dude, Cowboys fans, man, always coming in and saying, Cowboys, this is our year. Come on now.
It's all right. It's awesome to watch them melt down in December every year. It's like the joy of the holiday season.
Oh, it
Stephen
is.
A. would say, smoke that cigar and watch the Cowboys melt down. I'm in total agreement.
Yep. There you go. It's basically a normal at this point watching the Cowboys melt down. Once we hit Thanksgiving, it's just GG for the Cowboys.
I was about to say, there's nothing like throwing back some turkey and just watching the Cowboys get beat up on Buffalo.
No doubt about it. You gotta love it. So we got who's up now? This is our former trade, I believe. So Nick, you're up with the Steelers, right? Am I right on this?
Up here at 30 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this would be an ideal circumstance at this point for the Pittsburgh Steelers if they were able to trade back, get some additional picks in some later rounds, and still be able to make a selection here in the first. And fortunate enough for them, Najee Harris is still on the board. But even if they were set on taking running back here, another guy who's been climbing up draft boards, who I don't think is going to make it that far into the second round, is Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. I'm not selecting him here because Najee Harris is still on the board. But if the Steelers are dead set on a running back here around this time period, trading back, he might still be available here. In this mock he was. But because Najee Harris is still here, I'm going to select him. And now they also have additional picks in later rounds. So I think this would be a great scenario for the Steelers.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if Najee fell right back to him.
That'd be a fantastic win for the Steelers right there. Get more picks and get the guy that you were essentially thinking about taking earlier on. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff for the Steelers there.
All right, so I'm up here at pick 31 with the Ravens. Well, first of all, before we get there was a nice rumor out here. You Steelers fans will like this, that the Steelers have Kyle Trask as QB5 on their board above one of the big five who went in the top 10. So it would not be totally shocking to see the Steelers come back into the first round here and take Kyle Trask. Well, to me, it would be shocking, but apparently not to them based on the report. But right here with pick 31, the Ravens need an offensive tackle after trading Orlando Brown and Samuel Cosmi and Leon Eichenberger right there. But the one they're going to go with is the offensive tackle who protected Trey Lance in North Dakota State, Dylan Radunz. He's been getting a lot of steam up draft boards. I've seen a lot of first-round rankings on him now, and they said that he's likely to come early in the first round because he's also one of the younger guys who's more raw, and they find that they can develop him. And the Ravens seem to be the best developing players, so whoever they pick usually works out.
That pick put a smile on my face, Zach. Justice for North Dakota State, man. Let's give them all the love, right? They deserve it.
Respect.
Yeah, that's awesome. It'd be incredible to see two guys from North Dakota State go in the same first round. I'm all for it. I think, especially, like you said, after moving Brown, it's literally just a plug and play right there. It works beautifully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like
Nick, do you like that stuff about Trask?
Oh my gosh! I mean, if you really think the Steelers are trading back up into the first round, I mean, come on.
No,
we got a comment here. We have a comment here. Steelers trade up to 4 and take Trask. Who loses? I don't think anyone does, except for maybe Nick. I don't know.
I win. I definitely win. In that scenario.
Hey, I mean, maybe they could still get a center in like the 6th round.
Increases the chances the Broncos don't take Mac Jones. So
there you go.
Just put more guys in front.
I feel like somehow this whole conversation has to come back to Derek Carr. I mean, every quarter.
Come on, man, why? How?
The Raiders are looking at quarterbacks, man. Oh the Raiders are looking at quarterbacks.
Listen, dude. For 3 seasons, I've heard the talk that Derek Carr is leaving and that we're going to take a quarterback. Or I've heard we're going to sign Tom Brady. I heard we're going to get Jimmy Garoppolo. I heard we're going to get Kyle Murray. I've heard it all. I was going to say
the big rumor was that if the Cardinals didn't take Murray, he was going to be a Raider.
Yep, I know that was the rumor. I mean, Kyle Murray's nice, but
that's my I don't know if you ever heard the story that if Andy Reid did not trade up for Mahomes, apparently Sean Payton was trying to get in there, man. He wanted it all. From Mahomes. That's so.
I've heard every team loves Mahomes. That's all the rumors now is everyone is going to trade up for Mahomes.
Yeah,
that's the rumors now. They got to save face. They got to save.
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe this is the year the Raiders finally, bring in some competition that's not Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, everybody was going to trade up for Mahomes except for the Bears. So
exactly. Yeah. Listen, the Bears. At least the Bears don't up to it, man. You got to own it, man. If you're going to do it,
well, they can't hide. They really can't hide from it.
See, I like this one. The Raiders taking Felipe Franks at 17. We got the comments all about the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, let's get every quarterback who's ever been at Florida.
Any publicity is good publicity. That's the way I look at it. So keep talking about the Raiders. I love it.
All right.
All right, this is our last pick here, pick 32.
Yeah, Matt, as much as I'm tempted to offer this pick to you in a trade, I'm going to make the last selection here. I'm going to go with Jason Owe out of Penn State. I mean, this was a guy who finally got to start for Penn State this past season when Yater Tomatoes went to the draft the year prior. And, one thing that may be concerning about Owe on the surface is the fact that he didn't record a single sack in his final year at Penn State. But when you look a little deeper, this is a guy who's just an absolute athletic freak. And he actually got to the backfield and was disrupting plays at a higher rate than what you would expect from someone who got 0 sacks. Just couldn't really finish off the play. And given the fact that this Buccaneers defense is so deep, they're returning all of their starters. I think the ability to go out and get a guy like Owe, who you can potentially develop from this raw talent into perhaps a more refined player. I think that's something that the Buccaneers could potentially go out and do if he's still available. And, he gets to, have rotational minutes for the first couple of years when he's with the Buccaneers. And it never hurts to have enough depth on the defensive line. So that's where I have them going here in this last move of the first round.
Yeah, the New York Jets are a little hurt by that. We wanted to go get our 5th-year option on a receiver possibly. But, I guess we'll hang out there in early round 2. We'll take our 4-year contract instead. That's fine.
What happens? Sorry, I don't know what I can do for you.
Yeah, it's all right, man. It's all right. But no, I like that. I like that pick a lot for the Bucs. I think that makes a ton of sense given the one of the strangest situations that you will ever see because realistically, after Tom Brady goes, they are going to immediately fall back into the cellar of the NFC South. And I have no doubt about that. It is the strangest. And this thing was the Bucs were like, hey, we have 2 years to win a Super Bowl, and now they did it in year 1. It's just now what do we do? So they're literally just kind of floating right now in this weird limbo of, well, let's just take as many good players as we can because when Tom goes, a lot of guys are going with him.
Yeah. I think that if that defense, though, under Todd Bowles, if they stay good, they could be good for a long time. That's a good group right there. I tell you that's really what helped them win the Super Bowl this year. I essentially think they carried them. They're a great defense at Tampa.
Well, what do you guys? Well, if this defense continues to improve and continues to be, one of these top defenses, we saw how good they were playing down the stretch last year. Do you think that Todd Bowles gets another shot at a head coach job sooner rather than later?
I think he might, but I don't think he should take it, or I don't think he should. Because I think defense is his thing. I think that's his niche. Yeah, Matt shaking his head. Matt, I agree with you. I think that's his niche.
Bruce Arians isn't even a good coach. Yeah. Todd Bowles does not listen.
No, Todd Bowles is an amazing defensive coordinator, though.
Tom Brady wins Super Bowls, not Todd Bowles.
Stop. Matt, you're triggering my Tom Brady hate right now. Dude's overrated. Come on now.
Okay, well, I'm not wrong.
While I agree with you guys that he is a better defensive coordinator than he is a head coach, I think it's one of those things where if this defense continues to play well, continues to grow, continues to increase in their dominance, I think it is something where he's going to start to get looks again as a head coach. But I'm with you that he's better off as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, listen, Nick, I agree with you. I could see that. I could see him definitely getting looks. I think he should. I think also the defensive coordinator from the Falcons should get some looks as well. The guy interim, somebody, his name escapes me at this moment.
Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris. He got looks as well.
Yeah, I think he's in Jacksonville now. He left to be their defensive coordinator or something.
Yeah, I think he should definitely get looks as well, though, as a head coach, because how he took over and kind of turned the Falcons around there was really impressive. I think Todd Bowles.
I was just going to say, I think Jason Garrett should get some looks too, so he can get out of New York and stop ruining our offense. That'd be good.
Listen, that sounds a little biased to me. I feel like you just want him gone. That's why. I don't know.
No, if he wants to turn our offense around, then I'm good with it. But, a 31st ranked offense for Jason Garrett, he can leave.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, good stuff. That's the end of our draft here. That was great stuff.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm happy to be a part of this once again, and I'm sure that all of my picks, hopefully not Mac Jones, will come to fruition on Thursday. But I felt good about the things that I did here today.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, anybody was watching, no need to turn on the TV on Thursday. Just refer back to this video. You got it all figured out. Whatever Goodell says doesn't matter. It's going to be what we discussed here.
Yeah, and when we inevitably go when we hit the first 4 picks, and then you don't see another one right for 15, feel free to give. It'll probably be some random pick that Zach made in the mid-teens. That's oh yeah, we hit one, boys. So that'll, it gives us a little more incentive to root for something here. So I'm looking forward to that on Thursday as well.
Yeah, no shocks when the Raiders make their picks. There's just no shocks.
Come on.
A shocker is not.
Zach, we're gonna have to fight, man. I'm not accepting this Raiders slander. Every time we bring them up, you're throwing the Raiders onto the bus.
I like Derek Carr. He was mad good last year. Him and Danny Dimes, the all snub team, coming back for redemption this year.
All snub team. Listen.
I want to see Mariota start again.
I'm hearing Raiders Giants Super Bowl. I think that's what I hear.
Let's do it.
I'm there. That's what I'm hearing. Matt, I think if you can't hear it, you got to check your hearing, man.
I can't hear it. I can't.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yep. Yeah, but listen,
right.
Nick, as Nick said, if you guys get bored of watching Roger Goodell fall asleep in his armchair while he's eating M&Ms, even though it's not virtual this time, he still might pass out on the stage.
He brought his armchair.
Check it out.
They shipped it to Cleveland. Yeah,
they shipped it. Yeah, like IKEA.
Yeah,
they shipped it piece by piece.
Armchair to Cleveland.
Yeah,
backstage or something.
He's gonna be knocked out by pick 15. I guarantee it.
They're not gonna put it. Yeah, not gonna put it right in front of the mic for him.
Nah.
Oh, and real quick, gentlemen, two comments I'd like to address here. One, from Sam saying send Jason Garrett into the sun. Zach, would you agree there? Would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, after like one game this season, I'll probably be ready to send him into the sun. After game 1, September, whatever, I'll be ready.
All right, we got another comment here from Laszlo Vajtay saying, of all your picks, which are your money picks? Which ones would you bet your tuition against? Listen, I don't know if anyone wants to address that. I think I'd put my entire tuition on Trevor Lawrence going number 1. I think that's essentially a lock in. So that would be mine.
I'll put my tuition on something stupid. Hold up.
Do it.
Take it away. I'll put my tuition on the fact that if Mac Jones is on the board and none of the other top 4 quarterbacks are, he's going to be a Denver Bronco. I will bet the farm on that.
No, I don't think so. I think Denver going right past Mac Jones.
No, I don't know. It's a disappointing pick, and that's why Denver's going to do it because it's a terrible pick. I think.
I think Mac Jones can be a 49er.
Oh, I think that's what the smoke says. That's what they're all saying. After Kyle Shanahan commits murder, Mac Jones will be the starting quarterback.
I really hope that Mac Jones is gone. But anyways, we could talk about this forever, guys. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But this was a lot of fun. And I'm glad we did this once again.
Yeah.
This was a blast. So as for anyone who watched, appreciate you sticking through. The comments were hilarious. Danny turnovers. But yeah, this was a good time, and we will be back with more typical MCTV content. Maybe a little some back in the studio, hopefully for the rest of the semester. And we appreciate you guys coming here, and we hope you had just as much fun as we did.
No doubt about it. Thank you so much, everybody, and stay tuned to the MCTV YouTube to check out some more of the halftime on the Hudson videos and some more of the Studio A videos, Quarantine Quiz Show. Make sure you guys check them all out. That's all great stuff that we're producing here at MCTV. So again, everybody, as Matt said, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure as being Connor Kurpat to bring you guys this today. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We'll see you later.
Peace out.